What's up, guys? It's Crash, and I have a Battlefield 6 video for you guys today that I think you're going to find pretty interesting. I know I did, and we kind of got wrapped up in the beta the last few weeks whenever that was going on, and kind of focused on multiplayer, Conquest Rush, Breakthrough, all that stuff, and it was easy to forget that there's a lot more coming to the game. In October, we have the campaign. We also have the Battle Royale that's rumored to be free to play. We've already seen some little bit of teasers from that taking place in California. But the other mode that wasn't talked about too much has been Gauntlet. And we need to talk about that because today, Temporal did some data mining, presumably within the beta client, or maybe even the Battlefield Labs client, about what is in that game mode. And it's really interesting. And then even on top of that, we're going to throw some Portal information in on the mix, and that totally changes things quite a bit. So this is pretty exciting news in my opinion. I think it's pretty safe to say that most people are excited about the multiplayer offerings, and it sounds like with, the 9 maps confirmed coming at launch, we have a full-fledged multiplayer experience coming. So there's really no reason to be sad or upset that there's a Battle Royale, a Gauntlet mode, and a Portal and a campaign coming. Even if they aren't that great or you don't like them, you still have a fully fleshed out multiplayer Battlefield experience to play. So I think anything we get that's good beyond this point is just like gravy on top, right? So if these game modes are fun and good, that's great. It's just only better. And if they're not great, we still have a pretty decent multiplayer to sink our teeth into over the year. So anyway, what he found out in Gauntlet, I'll leave a tweet, X post, whatever you call it. I'll leave a link to the tweet in the description if you guys want to check out what he data mined himself. I'm just going to go over some of the high points with you and talk about it just a little bit. So this is data mined. Again, this doesn't always make it into the public server, but this is what's in the client. Now, sometimes things get scrapped. Sometimes things are placeholders, so we don't know for sure, but this is what's going on so far, presumably. How to play. Gauntlet. You fight together as a squad to complete a series of 4 missions. Squads with the lowest scores in each mission are eliminated, kind of like the finals, right? Everybody goes through and does their thing. The lowest ones are taken out, and the top ones make it on to the next round. In the final mission, the first squad to reach the point target is the winner. The better your mission results, the more field specs improve. So it sounds like there's field specs and upgrades. The better you do with your mission, maybe you have more points to buy better perks and specs and stuff like that to spec out your soldier. The Gauntlet mode, like we thought before, is going to use the Battle Royale map. So we might get an early look at what the BR map is going to look like. And what's really big here is it sounds like there was the net or the coding in there that you can probably customize the mode via Portal. So when we talk about some of these mission types, if you can spin up a Gauntlet server and change some of these things, it sounds like you could build a BR. If it's in Portal, like the sky is the limit. I'm really excited to see Portal. I thought it was going to be awesome in 2042, and it was. It had potential. Some people built some really cool things, but if they took that, expanded on it, made it easier to use, made it easier for modes to persist through updates where people didn't have to rebuild them all the time, some of the things like that, easier to share, more on the front page. The sky is the limit with Portal. And the other thing you're not thinking about with Portal, or at least I wasn't, is the fact that if there is a massive player base playing this game, like it kind of seems like based on the success of the beta, there's going to be more people checking out Portal, and you're casting like a wider net for talented and creative people to pop in and make something really cool. So I'm really excited about Portal, and the fact that you can mess with the Battle Royale and the Gauntlet mode. You could build a BR, you could build an extraction mode. It sounds like based on some of these missions, you could build like your own extraction game on here within Portal. Change BR rules and all that kind of stuff. Customs could be really, really cool. And it sounds like Gauntlet will most likely be free to play based on his data mine. So that's going to be a cool free to play element off the rip. And then it sounds like, based on Insider Gaming, we're going to get the Battle Royale a couple months after launch. Some of the modifiers. So it sounds like there's kind of special in-game events that happen. Sudden elimination instantly eliminates you if your squad is wiped. So sometimes when you spawn in to do some missions on a round, sudden elimination could be active. And it sounds like if you guys get wiped, you are done. Point multiplayer doubles points earned on the final minute of the mission. So it sounds like when you're in there, you're trying to get these missions done to earn points to get up the leaderboard. That kind of spices things up by allowing some sweet comebacks within the last minute of the round. And then here are the mission types that you'll be taking place in Gauntlet. So when you're trying to get into those things, what you're going to be needing to complete are missions like Vendetta. Take out marked enemies and hostile squads, survive high value targets to earn points. Wreckage is pick up bombs to blow up MCOMs. View starts right after the bomb pickup, so that's pretty cool. Circuit, claim and hold nodes like Chainlink, control nodes automatically spot hostiles. So it sounds like it's a kind of a PvEVP type game mode with different squads taking off different missions. You might fight PvE, maybe you'll run into another squad. Sounds pretty wild. And then try to just up those points. Contract is track and eliminate enemy squads. Squad deploy only. A wipe results in elimination. So it sounds like you can take out other squads. It's gonna be interesting to see how many squads and how big the map is. That'll be a really interesting number to play with on how often you'll be able to just do your missions, try to get points, or if you'll run into other squads and try to take them out that way. It's pretty cool. Heist is capture intel caches from hostile HQ. Carriers are always marked for the enemy. That's going to be really interesting. And then extraction, retrieve data drives, shout out hazard zone, baby, and deliver them to drones. Check the drones for traps to avoid an ambush. So that makes me think you might be able to see, and I'm just spitballing here, guys. This is just in my head. This is Crash, not Datamines. You might be able to see maybe where some of these other teams are doing missions, and you could maybe potentially, I'm just thinking through my head, you could maybe see where other teams are doing missions on the map, and you can decide to try to get points on your mission, or maybe go take out another team and end their streak like that. Then there's deadlock, secure and hold zones with your squad, split up to capture more zones for extra points. Decryption, secure and decrypt any beacons you find. Sprinting pauses the decryption process. Those make me think that you're going to be visible on the map when you're doing some of these missions. Additional mission references are Hotwire, Swarm, Territory, and Relay. No descriptions for those. That's just the name of them. But all in all, it sounds like this seems like a really interesting game mode, kind of more or less like a round-based extraction mode. It sounds like almost kind of like DMZ, where more than one team can win. If nobody kills each other, the top points move on to the next round, and you work it down till there's one squad standing in the final mission. So it's almost like a BR, but it just sounds really kind of interesting to me. I'm not going to say it's going to be great. It could totally be weird, but I do have to say that I'm excited that they're trying something different within this kind of BR big map space, like this BR extraction mode, big map kind of squad based play, like the sandbox type game. They're trying something new is what I'm trying to say in my terrible boomer way. But it does seem like it could have some potential to it. And again, like the cherry on top, taking it another step further, is the fact that if you can tweak any of these things in Portal and set up your own custom servers, also within this, if there's only 4 squads or something, you don't have to have a super massive amount of people to play. You can probably have fun if you can round up a few friends, maybe combine some communities with some other buddies and get like 12, 16 people together. It sounds like you can have a lot of fun and build your own modes. So this makes me pretty excited for the future of the game. I'm very interested in how the BR is going to play, as someone who, you guys can look back, one of my very first Battlefield videos several years ago was talking about how much I liked Firestorm and excuse me, how I was sad that Firestorm was shelved. So that's like one of my very first YouTube videos was talking about Firestorm. So I'm pretty excited to see what the BR is going to be like within Battlefield. Gauntlet looks really cool, like they could do a lot with it, and just having it in Portal is going to be pretty insane to be able to just change stuff, do whatever you want. And somewhere, somebody, if we have a really big player base, you just have to think that a lot of times when there's user-generated content like this, somebody's going to come up with something pretty cool, and the cream usually rises to the top when it comes to these, and they can catch on. So I'm really excited to see what this amounts to in the future. Again, these are data mines, might not happen. Sometimes they don't make it into the live game, but sometimes they do. It's in there right now. And yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments if this is something that sounds interesting to you. It sounds like a mashup of a lot of different things, and I'm here for it. So thank you guys for being here and watching the video. I can't thank you enough, and I'd love to see you on the next one.